Hello, this is Dpend, and this is my face. Do you really need to see it? I don't think so. That's why for this video, and for this concept, I'm just going to put some kind of visualization on the screen that will be derived from the waveform of my speech. So if you need something to help you keep a single point of visual focus throughout, then you'll have it. And if you want to just minimize the video and listen to the audio, you won't be missing much. Now, shout out to anyone who was around during the 2016 and 2017 days of podcasts on Podomatic. Used to do those somewhat regularly. We're basically going back to that whole tradition of vocal sharing. And my plan with these is going to be basically after hopefully a lengthy meditation session, I'll just come forth to share that with everyone. And if you want to participate more actively in this exploration, all you have to do is breathe deep, relax, and try to take in the information. Enjoy the dialogue between what it is you're hearing, what mental, emotional response you get from that, which would be the discussion between you and I, so to speak. I want to talk about quiet joy and how louder layers of our being can cover up this fundamental, amazingly exuberant energy of joy that we have. I noticed that right on the surface of the mind, oftentimes, especially if we're very busy and we're engaged in a lot of societal interchange, there's a pretty large amount of negativity, especially negative thoughts about oneself, negative judgments about oneself, and they can be quite nasty, which always makes it important to remember that thoughts are not personal any more than emotions are personal, which they aren't, contrary to the way that people think about emotions and thoughts. They're just energy forms, and they arise out of a more formless awareness, and they recede back into that formless awareness, and they become energized and mutate if they're given attention. So when thoughts and feelings disturb us and we repress them, or we deal with them in certain ways, it makes them more powerful, and we end up doing the exact opposite of what we really want to do, which is to go deeply into the experience, feel it, experience it, let it run its course, and then move on. But back to this quiet joy. I've realized that the classic and basic joy of living that can be expressed as and excitement for little things, to eat one's breakfast or to go into nature, or could even be something as mundane as cleaning, to meet up with friends, to watch a show, read a book, write, play music. It's this subtle joy. It's very small and quiet in some ways. It's not the same type of a euphoria that one would get from other things. I have to be careful what I mention because of algorithms. Okay. But I hope that this short exploration this morning, when we're just establishing and getting back into a format, would be helpful because of the fact that I haven't been as active with my meditation practice as I was years ago. And upon having a lengthier session, it was quite apparent how much I've been missing out on. And the contrast between living a life with very little contemplation is kind of like being a leaf floating on the surface of the pond and just being buffeted around by whatever new storm front blows through, whereas actually making contemplation a part of your daily life and a major part of your daily life, you feel more like a stone that sinks to the bottom of the pond. And then when storms and other disturbances come, you're not really shifted all so much, although you still feel all of the storms that move through. And there are other things that you feel that you don't feel when you're on the surface. So there are ways to simplify life and to make everything easier for everyone. But you have to have that desire to want to look into the truth of things and to truly want to make things easier, want to make things more potent. And that requires the willingness to look into aspects of your existence that may be disturbing. My experience is that the amount of anguish that we feel running away from parts of life that we're not wanting to face is greater than the negative experience actually is once we face it. And it can be over within a short period of time, but it's that repressing and that fearing and that fearful imagination that's built up around things, what we expect they'll be like, that really causes us more pain than anything else. Because there's a secret fear many of us have that if we were to explore the truth of things to its very core, what we'd find would be a tragedy, or that maybe we'd discover that there's no purpose to anything. But the fact is, there is a core of quiet, effulgent joy that lies at the center of everything. and you reconnect with that just through intention and stillness. Classically, for most people, the most comfortable thing is laying down. And when you reconnect with that, it can be quite humorous at times, because you realize, what have I been really running away from this whole time? What am I really fearing? If this is what I am, if this is what's in my heart and this is what's in my soul. So reconnecting back with that point helps us mediate all the volatile aspects of reality that we interact with on a daily basis. It gives all of those things a different context, and it gives us a firmer foundation from which to experience everything. It doesn't actually lead to a nihilistic conclusion like I think many people fear. Just because you're less affected by the waves doesn't mean you don't enjoy swimming any longer. So I really hope you enjoyed our discussion about quiet joy this morning. And if you did, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to this channel if you want more similar content. And please leave me a comment with any insights or feedback that you have. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, don't be afraid to jump into the deep end. Peace.